Welcome back. For 19 years, a mother-daughter team has been broadcasting news, information and Hindi music from a tiny studio in Fairfax, Virginia. Her mother started the show Vividh Bharti in 1981 as a way of promoting Indian cultural traditions. And Nita joined her mother on air at the age of 17. She joins us now from the United States Capitol. Thank you very much for joining us, Nita, and welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, you started as a co-host on the radio at the age of 17. Looking back to that time, how has things changed, or how has your audience changed in their demands that they've made on you?
That's a very good question. In fact, the audience has changed demographically speaking, primarily because of the number of people that we now have in Washington. When we first started, their community was about 50,000 strong. Now we're up to 75,000 plus. As far as music and Hindi music goes, the fans out there still love the same type of format, and we've been very successful with what we've continued to maintain. Hindi music along with news, information, and interviews with politicians, celebrities, and film stars.
Now, in looking at all those other aspects and topics that you cover, have you had to change the focus to cover the whole of South Asia a lot, or has that been the thing that you've done all along?
You know, that's a very good point. We focus primarily on India and promoting the Indian culture and promoting the speaking of Hindi, which is the main language that's spoken in India. So from a cultural standpoint, we've maintained that basis. But as we've traveled as a family, because this is a family program, we've traveled to Southeast Asia, and we've incorporated a lot of things that we've seen, which is bringing together of cultures and viewing our society as a whole as one.
Now, you mentioned that this has been a family business, if you will, all along.
Right.
Can you tell us how it came about that your parents decided to start up a radio station?
First of all, I'll say that it wasn't really a business. It's more a public service to our community in the Washington metro area. But the idea was started to promote the speaking of Hindi. My generation, I'm a second-generation Indian American. The idea that we had behind this program was to promote the speaking of Hindi and the preservation of our Indian cultural values. And in order to do that, we decided, let's start a radio program. My mother is very well conversant in Shuddh Hindi, which is the formal Hindi that's not spoken in everyday colloquial language. And she's a professional broadcaster, so she decided, let's do it, and do it so that the second, third, and maybe fourth generations would have something to continue with.
Now, apart from both of you and your mum obviously being mothers and also having careers outside of that, how have you been able to combine the two so that you can do both equally?
You know, a lot of it has to do with having supportive spouses. I don't think after being married I could have continued if my husband wasn't supportive of the fact that I wanted to do this hobby, so to speak. And it's been really a blessing to have my father and my husband who stand behind us when we decide to go and do this. But it's also the community too, because everyone is behind us in doing this public service effort.
Now, you say you have a supportive husband. You probably also have very supportive children supporting you in the two types of careers that you've had. How have they been able to adjust to being in the United States and also having this culture and tradition that they're also trying to live with?
Well, my kids are very young right now, but I think they're learning a lot from having a radio program and or having TV programs here in the metro area, because it exposes them to the Indian culture, it exposes them to our value system, and to all the festivals. The beauty of our program is that we actually pick a theme for each program, whether it be one of the Hindu festivals like Diwali or Karva Chauth or Raksha Bandhan, and we focus on those topics, and we instill in the younger generation why these festivals are celebrated, and we do it through song. Song, after all, is one of those things that binds a society, and Indians, for one, are very romantic when it comes to their music.
Now, here's a question I'm sure you're going to absolutely love. What was your favorite interview?
That's a very good question. I've enjoyed a lot of the interviews that I've done with the various celebrities and politicians. It's really hard to say which one. I think I would have to say the interview with Aamir Khan, who is now the producer-director of the film Lagan. It's currently out in Bollywood, the Indian film industry. And it was a very popular interview, and I liked the feedback that he gave. He was very forthwith and forthcoming. We did it as a live broadcast in the studio, and it just came across really well. He answered the questions very nicely.
Nita, thank you very much for joining us, and that's Q&A for today.